I up until December, I had my own podcast network with
Hmm.
7 shows. We were going live every day. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
I did it for 3 years. So it was a consistent thing, but I learned so much from it. I had about 7 people under me. So I had a team of people that we
Okay.
just got this going. So I ended up the end of December, I was like, you know what? This is starting to feel like work. I don't like this feeling. I'm
Hmm.
going to focus on me and what I know I can control and hold myself accountable to. I can't, you can only do so much with
Yeah.
other people. So
Mm.
I we dissolved it. Everybody went their own little way. And so I made a promise to myself, like, listen, I'm going to focus on building relationships. I'm going to focus on, because for me, when it comes to relationships,
Mhm.
I get inspired by other people's growth. Like, I need that type of energy. I need to surround myself with that. And so for me, it's like minded and people that's doing even more powerful things. So I'm in school part time. I work full time. I'm in school for psychology. I have a 17-year-old son.
Mhm.
I'm trying to still build my own brand. And so I'm doing some of everything, but I was like, I will not let it get back to how it was, where I didn't have time to do the proper research and pay attention to the audience and what it is that they said they needed.
Yeah.
So now I'm going through my phase of establishing relationships with solid people and just growing. So that's the reason why I reached out to you. My old barber, she sent me one of your videos and she was
Mm.
like, was his information helpful? So I went and I was looking at the videos and then I'm looking at all your other videos and I said, hey, he seems like somebody that's very knowledgeable, someone who's very professional. I'm not only going to take the information and dissolve and learn from it, I'm going to reach out to him. So that's why I reached out to you because I know I can always learn. I love learning. Like
Mhm.
I don't know a lot of stuff whatsoever. Can I do some things? Yeah, I can do some things. But I always feel like there's room for growth. And the only way that I can really grow is by talking to people, is by taking the information and applying it to myself
Mhm.
and having those aha moments.
Yeah.
So that's why I reached out to you. Like even right now, I love like literally it's solid. The background, the sound
Mm.
is awesome. Like, and I know the personality has to go along with it. So,
Yeah. It's been a long road for me. I mean, I've been
mhm.
podcasting, live streaming, creating video content since 2004.
Oh my gosh. So you
So
were podcasting and doing all of that before COVID happened when everybody decided, oh well, let's just get into podcasting.
it's you know, it's been a journey, but it's the thing that I love doing.
Love doing.
It's the thing I've always done, no matter what it was I was doing. It's the thing that I've always done. And you know, fast forward like to now, it's like I hear people talking about live streaming, podcasting, content creation. It's like my podcast, The Earl Hall Show, which focuses in on how to podcast and
Yeah.
how to create content, right? So, because that's what I know. So I bring on guests that do those same types of things now in this version
Hmm.
of The Earl Hall Show season 3.
Yeah.
I'm only interviewing those types of people, podcasters and content creators, and that's it.
Yeah.
Um, but I do one episode drops every Thursday at 9 a.m. I've got like 3 episodes. I'm 3 episodes ahead right now, and I just had like 4 more people book on my show. So
Hmm.
like, I'm always ahead, but I
Yeah.
only spend 4 hours a week working on my podcast.
I'm about to fall out this chair.
It's like that's it. It's like
Yeah.
from I'm talking about okay, the recording of it, okay,
Hmm.
which is always video. So I
Right.
record that, editing it,
Hmm.
chopping that up into short form content,
Hmm.
posting that content to promote the show that's coming up, right?
Yeah.
And even after that, and then also I have the audio only version,
Right.
which
Yeah.
you can hear on all the different platforms or whatever.
Hmm.
And but I spend right around 4 hours a week. That's it. on all those processes because I've done it for so long, and so now I've got my systems tight.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I mean, the podcast drops on Thursday, every Thursday. So Sunday, well, let's see, pretty much Saturday is like a editing day for me,
Yeah.
right? I'll just take the podcast, I'll edit it out, throw in my commercials and stuff like that. And then I'll post that on YouTube, usually on Sunday or Monday, but
Hmm.
it's a premiere that's not going to air until. And so
Right.
then I have a little trailer that if you
Hmm.
go to that, you can see who's coming
Yeah.
on. And then on Monday, it's a reel, it's a story. On Wednesday, it's another reel, another story, like I've already posted today.
Yeah.
That's done.
Yeah.
Um, and then tomorrow I'll post another reel and a story. Hey, it's dropped. Go listen.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of people that do podcasting, they do really lackluster promotion, if any at all,
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
podcast. And they're wondering why no one's seeing it. It's like you haven't told anyone it's there.
Right. Yeah.
And if you did, you only posted it after the fact and you're hoping
Uh,
people go and watch it. And it's like, so these are the types of things. I mean, there's three core principles of this that I teach. One is, well, it's four actually, how to structure your podcast. Like what is the podcast about? Right.
mm,
And then how do I get guests? How
I
do I
see that.
promote
Yep.
it? And how do I monetize it?
I see. Yep. Hmm.
Those are the four things. It's like, boom. It's like, so because I'm a coach and a consultant and I do a podcast based on what I coach and consult around,
Yeah.
it's why I do, 25, 35, 40K a month with my podcast. It's like
Right.
there's a structure that needs to be there because so many times, oh, I just want a podcast. I just want, okay, why?
Right.
Why? It's like I podcast to make money.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And everything ties into that, which why the podcast to me is so interesting because I'm talking to other podcasters and talking to other content creators around what they're doing. Just like the
Hmm.
show that drops tomorrow with Johnny Nitafan. This boy, he's 22 years old. In the last 60 days, through content creation and podcasting, this boy has made $70,000. Right?
Whoa.
Obviously, those are the type of people I want to bring on
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
talk about that, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, that's kind of the skinny on
Yeah.
me and what it is that I do.
And that is amazing. Like literally just sit, I'm gonna cry, sitting here just listening to you. It's like, first of all, I never would have had the opportunity to even do this type of processing of information should I have continued with my network because
Mm,
I was creating my flyers. I was creating the reels and stories and doing the promo and booking the guests and coming up with the show topics for 7 shows.
hmm
I never would have sat here and seen, okay, it's just a process. Like you have to have it outlined and then you have to follow it.
Yeah.
So literally when you said 4 hours a week, I'm like, huh? Because I'm constantly, and maybe this is me, and I'm growing and I'm learning how to structure my time. I'm not used to having free time. I go
hmm
crazy because I feel like I should always be doing something. So when I'm out of work, I'm working on either looking up guests or looking at ways to promote the podcast or working on thumbnails, creating that or creating, pre-scheduling episode. I'm doing some of everything.
Let me give you a little secret. You want a secret?
I do. I like
All right.
secrets.
So coming up with podcast guests, if you've heard any of my reels or whatever, it is just that simple.
Hmm.
Like the first guest in this season that I started interviewing was me reaching out in a DM,
Hmm.
right? Now, before I reached out in the DM, I would look at their content to see, okay, is this a good fit for what I
Right.
do?
Yeah.
And then I would like or heart, make a little comment. So
Hmm.
they at least start seeing my face.
Right.
So then when I reach out, it's not an issue. Like, you want to come on the podcast? Yeah, let's hook it up. Okay, here's the
Yeah.
link. Just go register. Just go fill it out and schedule when you can be on the podcast. And a lot of people think you can't reach out to like folks that are like bigger than you, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's like, so one of the platforms that I use to um, do my podcast, the audio version, and it's also how I put my guest, it's called Captivate.fm,
Yep. I was using that before.
right? So I use Captivate. So I reached out to Captivate. And guess what? The founder of Captivate I interviewed last week, right? Just because I use their platform and he
Right.
knows it and he knows who my audience is, which is podcasters. Why
Which
would
is
I
his
come?
customers.
You see how simple this becomes,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And so, like, right, literally this morning, because I use Riverside to record my podcast, I had commented on something yesterday on Riverside. I actually wasn't even intending. I saw a post from Riverside. I'm like, wow, this is really good. So I commented on the post. And then Riverside commented back to me. And I commented back to them. And then I put in, hey, can I get one of you to come on the podcast? Now, that was like an hour ago. I did that. I haven't
Yeah.
even looked to see if I have a response.
Yeah.
But like an hour ago, before we hopped on this call, I had just posted my reels on
Yeah.
Instagram for the day. And I chilled out for an hour. I was like, oh, well, I got to talk to Brie in an hour. I'm just going to chill for a minute.
Yeah.
People see now, they don't see what the struggle was
What you went through to get there.
to get here,
Yeah.
because it didn't just happen. And I had to figure it all out. I didn't have anybody to tell me or to even teach. What do you, I literally had to figure it out. And that's why it took me so long. And that's why I can show podcasters how to reduce this time down to like anywhere between 3 to 6 months. It's like, you want to make 30K. Okay, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
With your podcast and how you get clients and just the whole 9 yards, because there has to be a structure and a plan
Right.
to be able to bring all of this to fruition. Because just saying I want to do a podcast,
That's the
it
easy
can
part.
come.
Just say
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And then I don't, as you can probably tell, I don't use cheap gear.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, not to
The
say that you have
quality is.
to have that, not to say
Yeah.
that you have to have that to start, because you don't. But
Right.
I just continue to build. It's like,
Right.
this microphone is $450. The interface that the microphone is in is $1,000. The camera is $800. The lens on the camera is $450. Right?
Yeah.
But I didn't start there day one. I started right here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
I
just
am
had a path to build.
definitely. I'm sorry. Say that last part.
And then just had a path to build, to build with and get better. And, light. I got my lights here, and you see the backdrop.
Yeah. I love the backdrop. It's just so.
I just
It's
started
clean.
using this backdrop like this week. Like, I used to have just a black one. I was like,
Yeah.
let me spice it up a little bit. And so I just, got another. Well, I had it. I've got a bunch of backdrops I've had for years.
Yeah. That literally looks like you about to have a professional headshot done. Like it's clean. Like okay. So I love the information. Like this right here, it motivates me because I know it's achievable. I know it's just I'm going to do the work and I'm going to use that time that I have more wisely so that I'm not feeling as though I'm bombarding myself with doing a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't need to be done. Something that I can just cut down and make it more simple. I tell you, I'm excited. I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm going to continue to look at your videos and take my notes and actually apply the teachings, because it's easy to just sit there and watch, but if you're not applying it, then I mean, what are you doing?
Exactly.
So, I appreciate the gems. I really do.
Oh, no problem at all.
I'm very grateful, and this is all that I wanted. That's all I wanted. And I know for me, I feel like I need to go back to the drawing board. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board. But I appreciate you giving me the time. I really do.
No problem at all. No
I
problem.
appreciate it. So I know, listen, time is valuable. I try to repost people's, their reels, like in my stories, if I feel like it can help people. And I definitely feel like your content not only is helping me, but I feel like it can help other podcasters.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad. I mean, hopefully my content helps,
Yes.
with what it is that you're looking to do. And the thing you need to do now
Mm-hmm.
is pick a date to start.
Yes. You
Because
say pick a date to start as far as my
you need
changing.
to pick a date to start your podcast. Like, because until it's just in your head and you're thinking about it, it
Oh
will never
no, I
come.
have a date. So I have, okay. See, and look, my phone is trying to die. I have a show that is starting March the 6th. I
Ah,
already have my
okay.
guests booked from March 6th to May 29th. And then I also have 7 people on a waiting list. So
There you go.
I was going to use the people that's on the waiting list and start pre-recording them now,
Yeah.
just in case a guest for a live recording can't make it. Then
Mhm.
I'm not going without content. So yeah, no, I'm already in here. It's just now
Perfect.
I'm trying to build up the promotion for the launch of this to people. And I want to be able to implement any type of changes and things that I see that's going to be necessary to help it grow now
Mhm.
before it even starts.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well,
yes,
you got it, girl. So nothing to it but to
thank
do it at
you.
this point.
Yes, listen, I'll let you know when I quit my job.
Okay. Yes, please do.
I'm gonna let you know. Thank you again. I really appreciate it.
You're more than welcome, Bree. You have a good rest of your week, okay? And best of
You as
luck to you.
well. Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome.